Welcome back to the Random Guest Room podcast. Today we have the stunning Darien. Welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for coming on the podcast. And just like usual, I meet my guests on the internet. So, welcome, Darien.
From Reddit.
From Reddit, exactly. No, it's so cool how you could find different people from the internet and make new friends. So
Mhm.
it's a fun journey. But today we're going to talk about topics that are slightly different from what I've been talking about with my other guests. We're going to talk about a few fun internet topics and some that are girl related as well. But we'll dive into that in a bit. But before we begin, now everyone has been talking about their Spotify Wrapped. So I want to know about yours. What has been your top artist for the year and your top song?
Well, to be completely honest, so Duolingo Wrapped came out the same day that Spotify Wrapped came out. So to
Yes.
be completely honest, I have not even looked at my Spotify Wrapped. So we're gonna do it together right now
Ooh,
because I I posted my Duolingo before I posted my Spotify Wrapped. So
that's
let's
pretty interesting.
yeah, I'm a little
What
different.
language are you learning?
Spanish.
Spanish. Ooh, I'm learning French. Not in Duolingo, but I'm taking classes for
I
French.
took French in high school.
Same, but I'm just continuing my learning.
Yeah,
I
it's
took it up
hard.
again. It's so hard, but it's a fun language. So yeah.
It is. It's really difficult, like the "ho, ho, ho." That's hard.
Yes, the grammar and also the pronunciation is so hard.
It
But
is.
what's your rap like?
So, okay, so where do I go? I mean, not where do I go? So, am I go to listening age? What are we top song?
You're gonna tell me maybe what your top songs are.
Top songs.
Yeah.
Okay, top song. Let's see. Okay. My top songs, they're kind of random. So, it's this number 1, it's Mitch Geist. He's like kind of like EDM. That's my number 1. So, it's the song is called I Didn't Know.
Oh,
And the number 2 is called Lucid Monday. Okay, by Lucid Monday. Okay, we get it. I'm telling you, these are like weird. And then 3 is like Jai. It's like I listen to like weird like EDM music. And then the 4
too, it's totally fine.
yes, and then 4 was Queen. She's like an R&B artist, and her song was What Do I Say? And then number 5, she's an R&B artist too. Her name's Jayla Darden,
Hmm.
and the song was called Idea 435. You will probably that's so
I'm
random.
gonna listen to all of them.
Oh,
I love
fun.
listening to new music. I feel like it just takes me in a different world mentally,
Mhm.
or you could just imagine being in that place. So yeah, it's so much fun. But you
I
wanna
love music.
top
Yeah,
five?
I do. Yes, of course.
So I grew up in Africa, so I listen to a lot of Afro beats as well. So
I
Pop
do too.
too? Okay,
Yes.
I listen to my songs, and I have been obsessing over some of these songs just because of how it makes me feel. But my top song is MMS, How You Feel by Another, Shake It to the Max, Move That Body, and Blessed. And my top artists are Asake, K Tronada, Another, Jules, and Wizkid.
Oh, those are good ones.
My
I want
genre is deep house though.
Oh, really? I wanna see my genre. I don't know.
It's on the page where it says top genre.
Oh, I
Like,
see.
where you see a top artist, that's what
Mhm.
it shows.
Let's see. My number 1 is alternative R&B, and then my number 2 is deep house.
Ooh, I
Yeah,
like that. I like that.
that's
And
pretty
then how
fun.
many minutes have you listened to music for on Spotify?
Okay, I'm always in, like, the 1% of Spotify listeners. I'm not joking. So
Yeah,
I listen to music all day. Okay,
yeah, so do I.
so I've listened to music for 106,780. So 106,780.
Okay, yeah, mine is half of that.
Yeah, I listen to a lot of music.
Mine is 50,017.
Oh my gosh, I have double that. Okay, so what's your age? What's your age? What's your Spotify age?
My Spotify age is, I'm impressed by it. It is 25.
Me too! You can't see
No
it,
way.
but it's me too.
Wait,
Wait, hold
I'm
on.
gonna have to show this to you properly.
Yeah, mine's 25. Yeah,
12.
me too. Me too. Wait, hold on. You can't
Yay.
see it, you can't see it. There you go.
Yeah. No, this is I like the rap. I think it's so different from what I was last year. I was looking
Mhm,
at my rap from last year and I'm just like, whoa, I've changed so much as a person, the kind of music that I listen to. But I honestly prefer it this way. I like chill music, deep house, or Afrobeats. It just puts you in a different state of mind and a
mhm.
happier state of mind. So I've been listening to stuff like that a lot more. But
Last year you were a sad little girl?
I was mixed.
Oh.
A bit of both. But
Aw.
yeah, I think it's music really changes the way you think and your mood. And it's honestly the biggest life hack to changing your mood.
I think another one too is I'm really big into, like, that kind of stuff, like neuroplasty and, like, just the
Mhm.
universe and just frequencies, and they're saying I read an article coming back to music, is that more people are not dancing. Only, like, 2% of society is dancing now, and that's one way to, like, get the energy flowing in your body and, like, get
Yeah.
you moving.
Mhm.
So, I feel like that makes a lot of sense is, like, why people are depressed because think about it, y you know, when we would go out, we would dance. I feel like people don't dance anymore, like, nobody's, like yeah, nobody dance like, the only time you really dance is when you go to a wedding, and
That's so true. Or when you're at
yeah,
a club, but who really goes to a club anymore, right? People are mostly in fitness studios versus the club.
yeah,
Yeah,
nobody's really
nobody's
drinking anymore, which is good.
that's same. I barely drink. It's only when I
Mm,
go out or for special occasions. I don't
mhm.
enjoy it as much anymore, to be honest. I
Me
don't
neither.
that phase of drinking.
Mhm.
Happy about it.
Same, same.
Fitness over all of this.
Agree.
But we move on to our first segment, which honestly ties to what you just said about how nobody's drinking, nobody's dancing, going to the club, because we're going to talk about soft life versus the hustle culture. I feel like we're constantly so stressed about life and what we're doing next. And we're not really living in the moment. We're not enjoying ourselves to the max. The other day, I was watching this reel on how people used to live in the 80s and the 70s, and they would just have such a great time without our phones. Life is so much better if you really don't focus on what other people are doing as well on social media. Just enjoy life, move a little bit, as you said. And I would like to understand from your perspective on, let's say, the hustle culture, right? It was a norm that you working longer hours means you're working harder. And that was what society made you accept, right? And you don't feel fulfilled. I think resting as well, just giving yourself a little break by not working, that is often shamed upon, and some people don't like resting or they have to justify if they want to take some time off to rest, right? What are your thoughts about that?
I have very opinionated thoughts, especially I know we talked about prior. We haven't talked about it on on your pod. So I feel like it's totally different for single women versus men, you know? So I think for us, the whole like me personally, I feel the extreme pressures, like, more than I mean, I've never been a man, I'm not a man, but I feel like I feel more pressure than a man because not only am I trying to hustle to take care of myself, I'm trying to hustle to also, like, take care of my like, some family members, and then not only that, but you have societal pressures to where, like, I am single, where people are asking, like, "Oh, when are you gonna get married? Do you wanna have children?" So not only do I have societal pressures to where, like, I need to survive, like,
Mhm.
I have to work, but I also have those pressures of, like, am I gonna be married? Am I gonna be am I gonna have children? Like, what is it's a lot of pressure because when you go out in society and you're a girl and you don't have a ring on your finger, one of the first questions is like, "Oh, do you have children?" or like, "Do you have a partner?" And it's just like, why are you making that what life is about? How about you ask me what I had for breakfast or like, "Hey, how do you feel today?" So I feel a lot of pressure to be completely honest. I feel pressure all the time. I feel like even when I'm stagnant, like I'm not doing enough. Like I feel like I just have to do so much all the time. And even when I'm doing nothing, I don't relax.
Yeah, I feel the same, really. And talking about societal pressure as well, I think it's I've started not really, giving a damn about what people think. And I think that's helped me with coping about how to live my life because I'm not living for other people here. I'm really living for myself. And at the end of the day, it's you who's going to support yourself, right? So you have to do what you have to do by hustling. If that means if you want to take up, two jobs, do a podcast on the side, or just do a side hustle, it's just to keep you going mentally. And I think that's healthy. It's not a bad thing at all. Sometimes I think it is important to give yourself a break and just understand that it's okay to do nothing for a day. Nothing is going to happen, and there's no real emergency that is gonna, cause you to stop resting and ruin your peace of mind. So it's okay. And I've really started understanding that a lot more. And I think it's so important. So I'm inculcating that. Just like you, I don't like sitting idle as well. I am always constantly thinking of what to do next, thinking of an idea, or my mind is always racing. So I feel like that also kind of instills into the hustle culture where we're always thinking of our next move, which is okay. And I think another way, I do stress a lot as well. So, but I do make sure that my stress is productive, that I'm not just stressing
Mm.
to feel burnt out and not doing anything about it, right? It's one thing to stress and not do anything about it, which makes you even more stressed. Or if you convert that stress into productivity, which is how I've started associating stress with. So I will work harder or work extra to achieve a certain goal if I'm stressing. And, if I don't really like comparing my life to other people because I know that people are in very different stages of their life. And well, anything can happen anytime. And I've really seen that with examples that life is pretty unpredictable. So we have to take it a little easy. But well, I just feel like in terms of the soft life as well, there should be a balance, right? Like I think one maybe can do both. What do you think about that?
I definitely think you can do both, but I think it's hard. I think you can definitely do both, but you're gonna make sacrifices. You know what I mean? Like, you can have a soft life and a hard life, but I think the balance in between, I think you have to be super, super confident in yourself, and I think that that's what a lot of people struggle with is, like, their confidence and their ego. Just like you said, you started to not give a damn what anybody else, like, thinks, and, like, honestly, to sometimes that's something I struggle with. You know what I mean? I don't care so much, believe me, I don't. But also, like, having a podcast and having your life on social media, like, that just opens the door for everybody to just nitpick everything just because they think that it's okay. And that's what I hate about the internet and social media recently is that everybody thinks that their opinion matters. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, it's just like, okay, you just left a comment on my TikTok for what? To be a jerk? You feel better about yourself?
Exactly. Yeah. People feel that they're entitled to comment.
Exactly.
It's
Yeah.
entitlement that gives them a chip on the shoulder. But again, I feel like everyone is going through their own battles, and
Mhm.
sometimes I just go by the let them theory and I just leave it.
Literally, and that's why I think you have like, as human beings, ego is so important, and because once you realize why people are ugly, it's not towards you, you know what I mean? It's more about themselves, and so for me, I just always say, like, I'm gonna pray for you. I'm gonna pray for you."
Yeah, yeah, that's honestly the right mindset.
Yeah.
Instead of wishing them, wishing bad things for them, it's just better to wish them luck and let them
Literally, that's just
move on with life. It's not
I
wooden.
hope you heal.
I
Yeah.
don't
Hope
feel exactly. No, that's the mindset that I live by as well, to be
Mhm.
honest. And well, the other things that I personally feel like I no longer feel
Mhm.
pressured to anymore, which I used to before, is reply instantly to a text. I have stopped doing that. I feel like I'm not available 24/7 just because I have a phone or I'm on my phone. I think that I have started taking my time to reply now more than before. If it's not urgent, I'm not going to reply instantly. It's fine. I'm not supposed to be available. I could be doing something else as well, right? Or be available to everyone at any given
Mhm.
point of time. I kind of have decided and choose how to spend my time wisely these days. I would say no to plans just so that I can for my mental health, or if I want to do something else as well, which I already plan to do mentally, I don't necessarily deviate from that. So I
Mm,
have started saying no because I've realized I get really burnt out. You only have the weekend, especially if you're working all week. And those 2 days are really important for you to reset for the coming week as well. So if you're going to have plans on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you're not going to technically have a break, right? So I've just started saying no. And I don't know, like, no offense to the people that I've said no to plans for, nothing personal, but I just feel the need to reset sometimes, or or even prove productivity publicly. I feel like
mm.
I've become a very private girl in terms of displaying my life, especially on Instagram. I don't need that validation of people commenting or liking. Let's say if I'm going out somewhere, unless I'm on a trip, I like posting after a trip, but I don't necessarily do post everything that I do at all anymore. I stay away from that. How about you? Like, how do you think differently according to like the three things, like replying instantly or being available or even like proving your life publicly?
So for me, I'm really introverted. So I am an extroverted introvert. That's what I like to say. So
Mm,
like I don't go out like you, like which like that's totally fine. I just don't like it. But responding instantly, no, I don't do that. I
mm.
never have. Everybody like knows that I'm not a texter. Like I am not a texter. I will literally go days without responding. Like if you want to get a hold of me, you can call me or
Yeah.
FaceTime me. Like
Mhm.
I am a caller and a FaceTimer, but that's just because when I get in my phone, I get distracted. So I have ADHD. So like if I go on my phone and I text, then I just get lost. And after I text somebody, then I'll go to Instagram and
Yeah.
then I'll go to like Snapchat. And then it's just like, whoa. And then it's just like a rabbit hole of just paralysis where I just sit on the couch all because I just had to text somebody. And just like you, I do feel the pressure because then they respond right away. And then I feel like I have to respond right away.
Mhm. Mhm.
And that's just not something I wanna do, so I just stay away from texting, to be completely honest.
Fair.
I'm better with email, so, like, obviously, you probably know.
I
So, because for me, I think, like, since doing real estate, for me, texting is such a job, like, it's such like, I had to be texting all the time to
Mhm.
me where, like, I don't wanna do it socially for me.
Yeah.
Where I think that's why I'm better with email because to me it's just quick, and I think people with emails, it's less of an instant reaction, if that makes on the other end. Like, when you email people, they don't expect you to respond right away, so I feel like
Yeah.
I get more of a grace period to where, like, okay, she can respond for a couple hours, but that's just the way I do it, but also, I'm not very social, I don't really have a lot of friends, so, like, my phone is it'd be dry, dry, dry. And, like, that's okay, but, like, for me p and then to go back to posting on social media, I think that's why I do like posting on social media is because for me, number 1, going back, I don't really have family, so it's I like it because to be honest, when I post on my stories or anything, I just watch myself. I literally will just watch my own stories.
One of my
So yeah, so I mean, I do post, not everything I'm doing, so I'm very private, and just like you, when you post after a trip, so, like, even locally, like, if I go somewhere, I don't post until after I'm gone just because you never know, people are weird.
negative
Yeah.
juju, like
Yeah, yeah.
protecting, and in India we
Mhm,
call it nazar, which is like an
mhm,
evil eye. So
mhm.
yeah, yeah, it's a thing. I believe in it at least.
It is. I have an evil eye right here, so I'm
I was
protected.
Shane with an evil eye. I actually like replaced it with this, but yeah, I do have one too.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know. Yeah, people are not always well wishers from what I've realized. So I also choose what I tell people, which is what I've learned
Nothing. I'm
over
just kidding.
But yeah, no, I'm glad that we aligned on that, really. I thought I was one of the only people who did that, at least in my friend circle. But it feels nice that other people think the same way as well.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so now we will move on to another segment. which I think both of us can really relate to. It's called girl math and how we cope with it. Okay. For the internet as well. And I think maybe it's been a couple of years or more since the internet has been like the girlies have been talking about girl math and how we calculate things that only we understand, right? Like it's only justified if you call it girl math. For example, coffee like doesn't count if it's a daily necessity, right? Or if I'm stressed, I will purchase something for myself. And you know what? It's emotional regulation.
Exactly.
I feel I
Yes.
feel happy after it. I'm content in that moment. Emotional regulation, right? If I'm making
Mhm.
an expensive purchase, I will think about how long I will be using it for. If it's an expensive bag, for example, I will be using it. Maybe I'll even pass it on to my daughter, right? So
Exactly. Yeah.
it's an investment.
I was just gonna say that.
What are your girl math things that, only you or the girlies understand?
Okay, so just like you said, coffees, I love sweet treats. So sweet treats and coffees are my thing. I know it's crazy, but like I'm a sucker for McDonald's coffees. Like people like Starbucks or whatever, but I'm a simple girl and I like McDonald's coffee.
I like the
So
vanilla latte as well.
me too. That's what I get.
Yum. Yeah.
Yes, it's delicious. So sometimes I will justify, like, just like you said, like, if I'm having a bad day or whatever, so I'll calculate, okay, so let's say a McDonald's coffee is like 3.99 or 4.99.
Mhm.
If I'm having a bad day, like, is is that gonna justify my happy is my happiness worth this amount? So just like you said, a bag, like, okay, so let's say, I don't know, new pair of sunglasses or like Gucci ones, like $350. Like, okay, like, is my happiness worth this? And if it's not, then don't buy it. But if it is, then yeah, buy it.
Most of the time
So
it is.
me too.
You can
So,
yeah, that is a valid purchase by all means.
I agree too. So, I
Yeah.
mean, to m s so I girl math a lot of things. Food or, like, usually dessert, getting my nails done. I love just being a girl. I know that sounds
Yeah.
silly, but I love being pretty. I love
Pampering yourself,
yeah, yeah.
facials of
Mhm.
yeah. I agree. And there are a lot of things that well, even getting makeup, right? If you're splurging on makeup, you're taking care of your skin. You're getting good
Exactly.
products. You need to buy good quality products. So if
Mhm.
something costs $40, don't think twice. If it's gonna do good for your skin, get it by all
I
means.
agree. Agree.
Don't cheap out with skincare ever. Ever. Never get non-branded skincare.
And I think that's what I've learned in my 30s is you really gotta take care of your skin, and I wish somebody, like, I mean, you hear it when you're younger, like, "Oh, take care of your skin, take care of your skin," but
Mhm.
when you're younger, you don't really take it seriously. You don't really
Yeah.
appreciate what these other women are telling you, these older women with wisdom are telling you, like, "Oh, put sunscreen on and
Yeah.
make sure you wear a hat." And, like, to be honest, even when I'm driving, I even thought about getting driving gloves because I'm so concerned about my hands when I'm driving.
Yes. And you should put sunscreen on your hands as well when you're applying it on your face because your hands, like the skin on your hands, are also really thin. And
Mhm.
I never step out of the house without putting sunscreen. Even if the sun
Same.
is not out, it makes you age slower. Trust me when I'm saying that. And always put sunscreen on your neck as well, or even all your products. So I've learned that. My mother taught me all of this. She's from a very young age, she would just force us to put sunscreen. And we had that back in the days, the sunscreen brands are not as great as they are right now. They would leave this white layer on your face. So I looked like a ghost every time I stepped out with sunscreen. Very embarrassing, but I would still have to wear it, right? And then she
Mhm.
really instilled the importance of sunscreen and it stayed in our head. So yeah, always, always wear sunscreen. That's a must.
Agree.
Yeah.
That's great of your mom to instill that from a young age. Because then when you have kids, you're gonna do the same thing.
Absolutely. Yeah. Lather them with sunscreen.
Literally.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, that is guilty purchases already. But the other
Happy purchases, not guilty, happy,
happy.
happy,
You're so right,
happy.
actually. Happy purchases. Yes.
Mhm.
Even when I Uber Eats stuff, I kind of it only Uber Eats once a week or whatever platform that you use as well, maybe DoorDash or Skip. I justify that purchase with not traveling to the place as
Mhm.
well. Maybe if I'm craving something, a really nice dish from back home, and Indian food is not very um nice in the areas that I'm in. Well, at least it doesn't taste as authentic. The very few restaurants is sometimes you either have to drive really far away to get a good meal. So I just Uber Eats it, and even if it costs more because of the delivery charges, in my head I'm just like, okay, I'm not traveling all the way there, so I can
Mhm.
justify that spend with the delivery charges. So my girl math in my head is just like, it's fine. I'm treating myself. I'll have that meal for 2 meals because I cannot finish that whole thing on my own anyway. So
Mhm.
2 meals divided by two, that's the cost for one meal anyway. There. Yeah.
Exactly, and it's nutritious, you know what I
Oh,
mean? I'm sure, like, it warms your heart too, just having food from, like, like, it's comforting.
comfort food. Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
So I justify it as that as well.
I'm the same way though, that you're so funny because even for meals, like, I'll have 2 meals in something, so that's how I justify it too. I'm like, "Okay, so this is the price of 2 meals, so it's okay."
Right? Yeah, like I just
Yeah.
have it.
Mhm.
That's the price of one meal. So like, well, that's my logic there. And also, like, I feel when you dress up before you head out,
Mhm,
you
mhm.
feel productive, you feel this certain way and your
You feel
energy
put
is
together.
together. Yeah.
Yeah.
So my logic with, even buying a nice outfit, which may cost a lot, like if it's from Zara or any of these other stores, if it's a nice jacket, especially, and if it's, let's say, $300 or something, I would probably pay the price if it looks nice on me, unless and until I could justify in my head that it's gonna last me, for a few years at least, and
Mhm.
then divide that cost.
I agree.
Yeah, so clothing is also one of it that I kind of think associate with girl math.
Me
Me
too,
too,
and
I love
that's something for me
it.
too is with girl math is I like to see my money. So
Mhm,
I would rather like some girls like to go out and like go to dinner, like do that. For
mhm.
me, I want to go shopping because in my opinion, this might be a little weird, but like that food is just going in and out of your system. You know what I
You're
mean?
right, I think the same way.
Yeah, so it's just like that's being wasted. Why would I want to waste? I would rather starve and go buy shoes.
I think the same way. Oh my god, I will eat an egg, but I want those shoes.
Me too, literally
30 bucks
same.
on the shoes versus 30 bucks for a meal. Obviously,
Same.
get the shoes, right?
Agree, literally agree, and everybody thinks I'm crazy, and I'm like,
Mm.
"No,
No, no,
that's
no.
logic."
That's my lot. That's girl math right there.
Thank
Oh,
you,
and
thank you.
it's justified because you're gonna spend the money anyway, and you're so right. Food goes in and out, so
What's the point? I wanna see
serious.
it, I wanna see it. That's an
I
investment to me.
Yes, 100%. I would not spend a lot of money on food. That
Mhm,
is my non-negotiable, but I don't mind spending money on experiences though.
agree.
Yeah. If you're traveling to a place, if you want to have the best experience, because that's going to be a memory for you. So I think, um, yeah, experiences I don't mind spending on. And yes, I need to see what I'm purchasing. So you spot on that. I'm so glad that somebody else thinks the same way as well.
Same.
But yeah, let's end this on a very relatable note on modern adulthood. I think we're both going through that right now and things that nobody has warned us about. And we're just learning as adults. I feel like a child sometimes navigating around this world and just learning all these different things. And I'm like, hey, why am I learning about this through the internet, for example? Why has nobody taught me about certain things, right? Like something as basic as finances. uh, when we were younger, I feel like if I invested in a certain stock at a certain age, I would have had so much money right now.
Or even just teaching us what the stocks are. Like, ho nobody even taught us or even I know nobody writes checks anymore, but, like, nobody taught me how to write a check.
Yes,
Have
exactly.
you I had to Google how to write a check one time. I literally had to Google.
I did that too because I had to send the check to my landlord and I did not know how to write a check. And I had to Google or chat GPT it
Yeah.
recently because like there was a different format of the check that I had to send. Why? Why is nobody teaching us these things? These are important for navigating about life,
Yeah,
right?
well, I don't need to know the Pythagorean theorem right now. Like, I need to know what are my taxes? How do I fill out a W-2? How about that?
Yes. There's
So,
not enough resources on these things. Even on the internet, there are a few YouTubers who walk you through the whole process. Again, it's a whole process that you gotta learn. Or even filing your own returns, right? Why do we need someone to do that for us?
why
I
are
think
we paying somebody? I feel like the government
right? And it
yeah,
should be a service that people should know how to do. Make it a little more simplified. Have everyone know how they're filing their returns, where their money is going, how can they get a rebate for the tax money as well. Where is my money going? How am I controlling it? I don't know sometimes. Well, I know where my finances are going. Of course, I keep a track of it, but I also want to know how to micromanage those things and where I can get a refund back on certain things. I want to know how to do that, right? I want to get my value back for the money that I've spent. We all should.
agree.
Yeah, finances is definitely one of them. And that brings us to like learning with experience and not instructions. We were just instructed so much, I feel, as we were kids on certain things. And yeah, we just had to learn the hard way about dealing with people as well, right? I don't, certain things I understand that you learn with experience. And sometimes you meet certain people in your life and you have to go through that phase and then learn the hard way if you should even be friends with certain people or even be in a relationship with certain people and really understand your own personal non-negotiables. I think that is so important, which nobody can teach you because that is a personal boundary that you have for
Mhm.
yourself, right? So I think even adult friendships as well with intention, like making friends who really help you grow. Uh, Mentally as well, or friends that have good habits and then like doing fitness classes together, for example, have similar interests as well where you both have a growth mindset. Well, those are the kind of friendships that, well, at least I have started appreciating over time. I may have outgrown certain friendship from maybe my high school as well. So yeah, like, do you think that there's certain things that you have you know had to learn through experience rather?
Yeah, it's a little different for me because I didn't grow up with, like, parents. So, like, even for me, not only do I have to learn, like, the whole financial side of life by myself, but I also, like, like, maybe a couple months ago, my tire, like, needed air in the tire. I didn't know how to do that. So I
Today.
literally that's what I did. So what I did, thank goodness, like so this is where my pretty privilege comes in, and I definitely use my pretty privilege. I saw a TikToker and she was like, "If you're a girl and you're not using all of your assets and your resources that God gave you or the universe gave you, like, what are you doing?" And so I've used my pretty privilege. So I literally just went to the like, the gas station where they have the air?
Mhm.
And I was literally just praying. I was like, "Please just have somebody there. Just please just have somebody there." So I went there and there was a man there and I was like, "Hi, do you know how to can you help me?"
Yeah.
And they did. They helped me. But of course, like I was on my phone in the car before I saw this person and I'm just like sitting here Googling and watching YouTubes on how to put air in my tire. Like,
I would have
so
done the same, honestly.
yeah. And thank goodness there was somebody there to help me. So do I still know how to put air in my tire? No.
Do we need to know? No.
No.
Who cares? You have
Yeah.
people around you, and you're right, pretty privilege is a thing. Use it if you have it. Really, like, it goes a long way, and honestly, I think it's all about audacity as well. Never be afraid to ask. If you don't ask, you wouldn't know, right? Like
And that's how I feel, is like, the thing on social media right now is, like, you're seeking rejection. Have you seen those where people are, like, seeking rejection and, like, they search out for a no because when they go for their no's, it gets them closer to a yes. So,
mm,
yeah.
that's a
So
different take on it. Yeah, tell me
yeah.
more.
So apparently on social media, you just like go up to places, and I've seen like this one girl who you just seek rejection because when you seek rejection, you get over your fear, you gain confidence, You lose your ego and you get closer. Every no leads you closer to a yes. So I've seen like there's this one girl where she just goes places and she tries to barter with them and she's like, "Hey, if I give you this uncrustable, can I get a coffee?" And a lot of times they're like, "Yeah, let's do a trade." So it's like honestly
Funny.
I know, it's tricked my mind to where I'm just like going back to what you said, the audacity, where I'm just like, let's just all have audacity because what's the worst that could happen?
Absolutely.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just say
Yeah.
no and your ego is hurt, but that's what it comes down to is just your ego. And if we don't have ego or like anything else, who cares?
That is
I
so
don't care.
true. And
Mhm.
the other interesting thing that I actually saw online is that, well, actually, I didn't see this online. I was listening to a podcast on life hacks and like how to really trick your brain into things and or habits, basically, because I am really trying to change my schedule.
Same.
Trying to be a morning person
Mm.
versus a night person. So I've been trying to do these 7 a.m. workouts, which have been so tough, but my days have been so much better when
Mm.
I started my day with a workout versus ending my day with a workout. But going back to this podcast that I was listening to, they were talking about how you should gamify your life when
Mm.
you think of, knowledge is leveling up or like, certain habits that kind of level you down and just mentally thinking of where you stand level wise when you do certain things and how it can bring you level down and like working out gives you like an immunity booster like
Mhm.
you gain strength with that. So I think that is a really cool way to think of it and how you
Mhm.
should make judgments on certain things just by gamifying it in your head, not necessarily as like a Tekken character fighting someone maybe, but I guess the way you want to visualize it as maybe your favorite game that you've played could really help you change your mind towards motivating you to do things as well. I feel like habits, especially. So that was a hack that I kind of thought about and I constantly think about it. It's been a week since I heard it, and I'm just like, okay, that is a little unique way to think about life.
Yeah, that definitely does help. And then another thing that I heard is, just pretend that, like, there's a camera in your house. So, like, a lot of times, like, I will just pretend there's, like, somebody watching me. And, like, if somebody's watching me, do I wanna just be sitting acting like a vegetable on the couch? No, that's embarrassing. So then I get up and, like, I work, you know what I mean? So, like,
Makes
I know it sounds super silly and super crazy, but sometimes, like, I'm kind of embarrassed to even say this, but, like, sometimes I pretend like I'm on the Kardashians. I know that's crazy, but, like, I literally will
that's you.
pretend that, like, I have a camera crew in my house and, like, they're just watching me and I need to be productive because I can't just be sitting
Honestly,
around doing nothing.
whatever helps you,
Mhm.
be more productive or whatever helps you or motivates you
Right.
to be
Mhm.
is fine, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's a good hack as well when people are watching you.
Mhm.
So, just you have to like learn what works for you
Right.
eventually
Yeah.
and do what's best for you, right? So, yeah. And also, well, chores and everything. When you live alone, there's so much that you have to do. People don't prepare you for that, right? You're paying your bills, you're uh, you know, dealing with landlords on your own and you have
You're
to
cleaning,
cleaning, you're managing your own life, your own mental health, your own everything. Like
you're
you
working.
responsible for your own self and you're working, right? As well. And then it's and also decision fatigue is another thing that nobody has warned us about, like making choices, be it in your career, be it in choosing food or like just making partner decisions or whatever. Like it's just how do you make the best decisions? No one's taught us that either, right? We're just winging it at this point, I feel.
Yeah. And that's what I think too is since a lot of people are winging it, I just feel also too a lot of people ask other people for opinions.
Mhm.
And for me, I think it's hard because I don't trust a lot of people. So for me, I don't ask a lot of opinions, but opinions people always want to give me their opinions. And for me, I'm so strict with my boundaries where I'm just like, I would never live my life how you live your life, so I don't really need your advice, but thank you.
Yeah. Never really listen unless that person knows you in and out and wishes well for you. I don't think it's worth taking opinions from other people at all.
Yeah,
I usually follow my instinct, my gut, based on my life experiences. I make my own decisions for the most part, or I'd go to somebody older to guide me, who I
right.
know either a mentor. But I usually make my own decisions as well, just like you. So I've learned that as well the hard way. I used to ask my friends for advice sometimes, and I just feel like that's not
It
always
was
best.
and it was so draining. Sometimes when you, like, go to your friends, it just becomes this draining situation, and you just wish you never even brought it up. Where it's
Yeah,
just like, "Okay, never," and then you learn from that, like you said, then you learn, and it's just like, "Okay, I'll figure it out by myself."
yeah, absolutely. So, and another thing is that, you know, sometimes you feel behind in life, or there's certain career pathways that are expected of you to take. Like back then, at least in India, it was like there are only maybe two professions. You're either a doctor or an engineer, nothing
Mhm,
else, right? And then um it was just about how society perceived you as well. Those two things were like the best professions, or a lawyer as well.
mhm,
But I think for me personally, I was not cut out for either of that. So I went the hospitality route, and I worked my way in the industry, and dealing with people is something that I do as my daily job. But I just feel like people had very specific career paths that they wanted to box you in, and you
mhm.
felt the need to be boxed in those career paths. I think that's something that I'm so glad has changed. There's so many new professions that have come out as well. And I also feel like part of adulthood and modern adulthood was that I wish we weren't boxed back then, because that really limited our mindset. So, yeah, like I am glad that I didn't stick to the pressure of any of that. And I was given the freedom to choose what I wanted to do and what I best excelled at. But yeah, even for you, how do you think about like career wise, and how you were growing up, and what the decisions that you had to make all of a sudden outside of high school?
Well, I've been see, it's a little different because I've been an adult, like, literally since I was little. So I grew up like, I've had to be my own parent.
Hmm.
So I haven't really had the luxury of ever just relaxing. So, like, I've always had a lot of pressure. So I've all I don't remember what you asked me. What did I say?
Like career wise, did you ever want to do a certain profession because people around you were doing that, you know? Or
No.
that's so lucky of you, because I think maybe country wise as well, we've grown up in different countries, and I think that
Yeah,
really shapes society, shapes you differently, right? According.
mhm, and that's what I wanted to talk about with you on my podcast is just because I feel like it is so different, and to be completely honest, I've never even left the country. I've gone to Mexico, like, to TJ, but, like, that's it, but, like, I do feel like it's so different because I feel like in America we're so lackadaisical with, like, our childhood, you know what I mean? And, like, for here in America, it's very, like, enjoy your life. I mean, if you can, like, if your family allows you, if you don't have like, if you're not struggling, like, usually the parents here, they want you to enjoy your life and enjoy your children or enjoy your childhood and,
Yeah,
go mess around and have fun. But I feel like in other countries, it is a lot of pressure, like you said,
yeah,
So I I feel very grateful that I didn't have those pressures like you did because I mean, you haven't said it, but I feel like now you're just trying to rewire, and you're trying to be happy, rather than make everybody else happy, you're trying to make yourself happy, and I think you're trying to rewire your brain, and that's amazing.
yeah.
But
Because I feel like life is not
mhm,
really worth stressing about as much as you think it is, right? I just think of this as, if there's a problem, would it matter in 5 years? If the answer is no, I'm not going to stress about it. I don't want gray hair. So that's my logic behind like stressing and how to go about it.
what do you do when you're stressful? How do you deal with it?
Uh, as I said earlier, when I'm stressed, I try and make it productive.
Mm,
What am I stressing about? Based on that, I will take actionable steps to work towards what I want to achieve. And then that automatically diminishes the stress, because I
mm,
am doing something about it and not sitting on it. because if I'm sitting on it, I will stress even more.
See,
That's
that's what I do,
yeah.
and I'm trying to not. I'm trying to be more, like, and take initiative, like, right when it happens, because that's what I do is I just stress about something so much to where I just freeze,
Yeah.
and then and then hours go by, and I'm just like, "What am I doing?"
Yeah. Or I just get up and go for a run. I've been
Oh, that's
really
a good idea.
enjoying my 5K runs in the gym. I do that before my workout, and I think it's just my way of building that momentum for myself
Mhm,
and for just setting the pace of the day or maybe the rest of the day if it's an evening run. So I enjoy that. It's a really good confidence booster as well because it just releases a lot of endorphins.
mhm,
So yeah, running, going to the gym, immediate mood booster. It's so underrated as they call it. A lot of people are going to the gym for different purposes. Mine is more of like you know, being healthy, obviously, having a better appearance and mental health as well. So
right,
I really go for these three reasons, and I think that's another way I cope with stress.
mhm, agree.
Yeah.
I always feel better after I work out, always. I never feel worse, ever. It's
Mm,
hard to get there.
exactly. Yes. Before going to the gym, it takes me a lot of motivation to just get out of bed and make that decision. But sometimes you just have to numb your brain and do it.
That's a great way of putting it. You just have to numb your brain and just do it.
Yeah,
That's
the more you
amazing.
think, the more you're gonna be in that spiral of not doing certain things. So yeah, I just numb my brain and I'm like, you know what, gotta do it. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah, too
Get
bad.
doing things again. But yeah, those are the three topics that I had. And well, I hope you had a fun conversation. I intended for this to be 30-ish minutes. It's gone longer because I honestly enjoyed my conversation with you.
Likewise.
Oh, yeah. And would you like to tell the viewers about your podcast and what you do on your podcast?
Yeah. I have a podcast. It's called Big Darien Energy. I started the podcast, like I said, I don't have family or like really any support system. So the whole reason why I started the podcast is just because I just wanted
Mm.
other people to know that you're not alone, and just kind of tell my story just because my story is a little crazy. And I wanted to make people feel supported. Um, and I there wasn't a podcast
That's
where you had people on or talk about things that I really wanted to talk about. That's the whole reason why I started my podcast. So I want Manisha to come on and talk about her little life and things that go on. I have guests on. We talk about, just either funny things or just what's going on in their life. So yeah, it's just super fun. You get to know me, guests, and a little fun off the topic.
honestly, I love the podcast name, by the way.
Thank you.
That is yeah, that is energy. Diana has a lot of energy, and her energy is actually a lot of fun. From my conversation with you, I had a great time. And
Thank
oh
you,
my goodness,
likewise.
I would love to come to your podcast. And since
Yay!
you've not traveled, I've not traveled to the US, and I'm assuming you have not visited Canada, Toronto. I do have a US visa though. I just got it. So if you ever plan a trip, hit me up. You have a friend in this side of the world. So
Same, same.
please visit. I'm in Toronto, so yeah, it'll be nice having you and I'll show you around.
Oh, perfect, and if you're ever in California, come to San Diego.
I will 100%. I'm gonna invite me.
Perfect.
Yeah, thank you so much once again. And
Thank you, have fun.
thank you all for viewing. I will see you next week with another guest and another episode. Take care. Bye. Jen, stay on because I just have to stop this recording. And